Coming up, details on the petition against the meal plan changes for the next year, how the change will affect students and their response to Chartwell's.
And an update on potential changes to a beloved San Antonio event, Fiesta, what the changes are and how they may affect Fiesta attendees.
All this and more right now on Newswave.
Good afternoon and welcome back to Newswave. Today is Friday, April 10th. I'm Kiara Taylor.
And I'm Baden Russell. In response to Trinity's alteration of next year's meal plans on their website, students took to Fizz and a petition to voice their concerns. According to the Trinitonian, on-campus students are looking at increased prices and reduced meal exchanges for the next school year. On April 1st, students started to notice that the university had been altered the plan without any form of communication on Trinity or Chartwell's part. Currently, there are more than 1,000 verified signatures on change.org, which was created by a first-year psychology major, Eden Noella Avera. Within the petition's description, Avera wrote, quote, "If the university cares about student accessibility and accommodations, they will alter the meal plan," end quote.
As the petition signatures continue to increase, Tiger TV took to the streets to see what students' opinions are on the changes. Newswave reporter Zane Chloe got us an inside look at Trinity students' perspectives. Let's take a look.
Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of On the Street. Today we're asking Trinity students about what their thoughts are on the changes of the meal plans. Essentially, they've reduced the amount of meal swipes from 7 to 1, but after over 1,000 students signed a petition, it was up from 1 to 3 for the bronze plan. But students are still dissatisfied, so let's see what they have to say. So what are your thoughts on the new meal plan changes?
I think it's just absolutely unreasonable to think that 3 meal swipes, even like they were so gracious to email us to go up to 3 meal swipes this week, is enough. Everybody uses their meal swipe typically. All of the people that I know on campus use their meal swipe on like at Coates or just other places, or at maybe Market. Those are the only 2 places. And so I just think that it's unreasonable to think that limiting that and putting that number down isn't going to impact like students' diets and their ability to get food every day, it's really important. It's way too easy to go hungry on this campus already, and so I think that it's just really stupid.
Thank you very much. What are your thoughts on the new meal plan changes?
Well, my name is David Nelson, first of all, and my plan on how I feel about the meal changes, I'm a little upset, frankly. I would prefer to be given more options for the board exchange, so I think that's a really important part of encouraging local eating here at Trinity, and so that part I'm a little peeved about. Thank you.
Thank you very much. What are your thoughts on the new meal plan changes?
Very bad. They were obviously not made in mind with the students in mind. It's showing the increasing greed of Trinity. I know that last year as well, they made the meal plans worse by getting rid of the junior and senior meal plans, and they've decided to once again make it worse. And they've heard the outcries of the students, and they've decided to increase the bronze meal plan by only 2 meal swipes while not actually changing anything else, still increasing the price with the less value. So I am not in support of the changes.
Thank you very much. What are your thoughts on the new meal plan changes?
I think that I would rather have at least 1 meal swipe exchange a day. I'd like to be able to go to Coates for lunch and use that exchange there, as well as go to maybe Market at night when I'm kind of hungry and I'm having snacks. So I think minimizing that to 3 a week with the bronze plan is not really giving students flexibility in working around their schedules, which is what the new email that was sent out says, that they're trying to give more flexibility by adding more bonus bucks and adding the meal exchange prices going up. But I think that just takes away from that. Like, I can't go to Coates and exchange with all the different meal options there, as well as go to the Market. So that's what I think. I think we should keep at least the 1 meal exchange per day, and we can't decrease the amount of meal swipe exchanges and increase the pricing. That's just very contradicting. I don't like that at all.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
So what are your thoughts on the new meal plan changes?
I'm not happy about it.
Thank you. So, what are your thoughts on the new dining plan changes?
It's kind of unfortunate that we have to pay a lot more, but luckily I'll be moving on from the meal plan anyways, so it doesn't affect me too much, but sorry for y'all.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no problem.
So, what are your thoughts on the new dining plan changes?
That's very unfair. I feel like we pay a lot for tuition and a lot for meal plans, and that should be reflected.
Appreciate it. Thank you. So, what are your thoughts on the new dining plan changes?
I think it's obviously extremely inconvenient for people who live on upper campus, especially when we use Coates as an extremely valuable place to connect with people on lower campus, and to just like stay connected with the campus as a whole.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So, what are your thoughts on the new dining plan changes?
I mean, I don't respect how they weren't transparent with us. They were trying to hide it, right? I probably would have not saw the charge until I got my award letter, which is like late May. So I think that's like pretty stupid. I think it's also, how can you jump from 7 to 1? I feel like it's like very limiting. And then like again, they didn't even address the issue in the email. So I feel like they should just kind of do a better job of figuring out a solution rather than just trying to cater to a certain audience. I'm not sure what they're trying to do, honestly, but if it's about money, we have a huge endowment. I don't think money's the issue. So yeah, fix it, or people are not going to go to Trinity.
Thank you very much. So, what are your thoughts on the new dining plan changes?
I really kind of don't like it. I'm kind of upset that they announced that after we had chosen them, and like I know there's an opportunity to change it, like in ad drop, I think, but like it's kind of not really cool to do that after we've already chosen them. Also, the board exchange, a lot of people can't make it down to maybe and back when they're on upper campus throughout the day, so like taking that away from a lot of people is not very good if they want us to eat.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you guys.
So, what are your thoughts on the dining plan changes?
Well, I'm a senior, so I'm not going to be here when that takes effect, but I will say that Trinity has been getting cheaper and cheaper and more expensive in terms of tuition over the 4 years I've been here. Every year something gets taken away from us in the dining plan. I know freshman year we used to be able to use a swipe at Starbucks, then they took that away from us, and like every year it's something else. At the same time, the tuition gets exponentially more expensive. So that's a trend that I'm seeing. Best of luck to the people who are going to be inheriting that. Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, what do you think about the new dining plan changes?
I do not like that. I think that 3 meal plans or 3 swipes per week is not enough, especially as a student who has classes all day long. It's hard for me to go back to my dorm or just like go to maybe. It's easier for me to stay on campus and get a swipe by Coates.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Trinity is highlighting political science major Alan Miranda, who has turned her cross-cultural experiences growing up in both Texas and Mexico into a passion for human rights, particularly concerning women and underserved communities. After overcoming initial language barriers and navigating a new education system, Miranda went on to study abroad in Poland for 10 months and spoke in Washington, D.C., where she met former Vice President Kamala Harris, helping launch resources for Spanish-speaking families in the U.S. There are so many voices that deserve to be heard, Miranda said. I want to help connect those stories to spaces where decisions are made. Her story reflects Trinity's emphasis on global perspective and demonstrates how students are transforming personal changes into meaningful advocacy.
Trinity has officially updated its safety and legal protections policy regarding law enforcement on campus. The new policy states that federal agents are generally expected to obtain a warrant or permission from university officials before entering private areas such as residence halls. If an officer approaches a student, the university advises asking for identification and calling TUPD immediately instead of attempting to obstruct. Administration officials released the update to ensure students understood their constitutional protections and privacy rights. Student leaders commented on the clarity, saying, quote, "We want everyone to feel secure knowing that the proper protocols are in place," end quote. We here at Newswave will keep you updated as more campus policy changes roll out.
Coming up, information about a new state office watching over public universities.
And your weekly weather update from our chief meteorologist.
We'll be right back after this short message. Welcome back to Newswave. A new state office created to investigate public universities in Texas on how they implement laws about diversity in curriculum is under scrutiny, as people are unclear about their policies. According to Texas Tribune, the Office of the Ombudsman was created last year after the 2023 ban on diversity, equity, and inclusion offices. The 2025 law limiting faculty's role in certain curriculum, and GOP concerns being raised about how prepared students are for the workforce. This mediator accepts complaints from students, faculty, and staff, and if the school is found in violation of the laws, they are in danger of losing state funding. The office has been accepting complaints since the beginning of January, and Brandon Simmons, who was appointed ombudsman in October, said the office is still working on outlining procedures, saying, quote, additional policies and procedures will continue to be developed as outlined by Texas law. Senator State Paul Bettencourt, the new chair of the Senate Higher Education Committee, said that Simmons should become prepared with a procedure in mind for a higher education hearing set to take place this summer.
These past few weeks have been the definition of April showers, and our chief meteorologist, Luke Morton, has your update on whether to pack an umbrella this weekend. Take it away, Luke.
Hello everyone, happy Friday and welcome to another great weekend here in San Antonio. I hope you all have had a wonderful Easter weekend. We are finally starting to get a rainy pattern here in San Antonio, which is really good news for our drought, but not so great if you have weekend plans. Today is another cloudy and humid day with scattered showers in the area. This weekend is going to look pretty wet. On Saturday, we are going to see some scattered rain throughout the day, and highs should be in the upper 70s to near 80. Sunday looks to be the most active day of the week, with a slight chance for severe weather. If you have any outdoor plans on Sunday, make sure you have a plan B inside in case the weather turns a bit ugly. Highs should be in the upper 70s to near 80 degrees. We will continue to see an active pattern heading into next week. Monday should see a couple thunderstorms with highs in the upper 80s. Tuesday should see a bit of a break in the rain with highs in the low 80s. However, the rain could return on Wednesday. The rain chances should finally decrease as we get towards the end of the week. If you like the rain, you are in luck, as April showers are really living up to their name this month. Hopefully this will also help the drought in our area, because we really do need the rain after being very dry the past several months. Anyways, I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I look forward to seeing you all next week.
San Antonio's signature celebration, Fiesta, might be experiencing some changes this year. Based on the proposed agenda item for the San Antonio City Council session to discuss the annual festival, a historically free event might become priced. The ordinance proposed possible admission fees for entry into the largest event of the entire celebration, Fiesta de los Reyes. However, these fees will only apply to peak attendance times. The proposal is meant to create a safer space for all participants. While the proposition has faced significant opposition by attendants, the Rayfield Consejo Regent, Thomas Aguillon, said, quote, we hear the concerns and remain committed to working with the city and our community to ensure Fiesta de los Reyes remains safe, accessible, and sustainable, end quote.
Rallies were held outside Austin, the state capital, to protest plans for border infrastructure in the Big Bend region. According to NBC News, people at the protest called for, quote, no walls in Big Bend, and were concerned with the lack of transparency from the Texas government on the issue. The potential impact of increased border protection in the Big Bend region could have severe environmental impacts and reshape more than 150 miles of land. Laura Singer, a Big Bend River guide, raised her concerns with the border wall, saying, quote, couldn't imagine a wall being there. It would ruin the experience for everybody and the animals, end quote. As the situation in Big Bend develops, we at Newswave will be sure to keep you updated.
Coming up, details about potential changes to TSA and airports, and an update on Blake Lively's ongoing legal battle. We'll be right back in 60 seconds.
Tell him that I've begun to dream
Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said on Thursday that he has authorized negotiations with Lebanon in an effort to disarm Iran-backed group Hezbollah and improve relations. The proposed Lebanon-Israel talks are expected to begin next week at the State Department in Washington, D.C. This follows the continued Israeli attacks on Hezbollah, an Iran-backed group in Lebanon, after the established two-week ceasefire between Iran and the United States. According to AP News, the ceasefire deal remains tenuous as confusion over management of the Strait of Hormuz and Iran's nuclear program have caused both sides to pressure each other by claiming major violations of the agreement. Adding to the pressure on the ceasefire deal, Kuwait accused Iran of launching drone attacks despite the ceasefire, and Saudi Arabia claimed that Iran attacks have damaged a key pipeline to the country. The U.S. and Iran will have talks this weekend.
Blake Lively's 1.5-year legal battle continues as she prepares to face co-star Justin Baldoni in court in May. According to ABC News, a federal judge dismissed most of Lively's claims against Baldoni last Thursday, saying that the claims of sexual harassment were, quote, not so far beyond what might reasonably be expected to take place between two characters in a sexually charged movie like It Ends With Us, end quote. However, the judge allowed the claims of a smear campaign by Baldoni's PR team to move forward. Lively took to her Instagram story Friday morning saying, quote, I'm grateful for the court's ruling which allows the heart of my case to be presented to a jury next month, and for the ability to finally tell my story in full at trial, for my own sake, but also for those who don't have the same opportunity to, end quote. As this case unfolds, Newswave will be sure to keep you posted.
Airports across the country may experience a change in security. When President Trump released his proposed annual budget to Congress, one of the proposals was a push towards privatizing the airline industry. The administration has claimed that the TSA, quote, consistently fails audits, implemented intrusive security screening measures, unquote, and has also allowed, quote, illegal migrants to fly into the interior without proper documentation, unquote. These claims of the TSA being ineffective have only been amplified due to the still ongoing government shutdown of the TSA. Currently, there are only 20 airports throughout the U.S. in which private companies operate security checkpoints. Sheldon Jacobson, a professor of computer science, speaking in reference to those airports, said, quote, these 20 airports are completely oblivious to the government shutdown, unquote. Others echo these claims of saving government money and less vulnerability to congressional politics. Notably, the American Federation of Government Employees, the union that represents more than 47,000 TSA agents, have spoken out against the proposition, claiming it would make airlines less safe and could cause staff shortages. As this story and the annual budget develops, Newswave will be sure to keep you updated.
Still ahead, your Trinity Sports update and a closer look into the NASA launch last week. Don't go away, we'll be right back after the break.
Everyone has a ritual, that small thing to keep us focused.
A habit we never skip, to clear our minds and elevate our performance.
But what do you do to keep your head in the game? To drown out the self-doubt and support your mental health. Because being your best isn't just about taking care of your body.
It's about taking care of your mental health. Discover the resources that you need to keep your mind focused and your mental health a priority.
Explosives were found on Sunday near gas pipelines in Serbia. Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić announced the explosives were found by the army near essential pipelines that carry gas to Serbia as well as Hungary. The pipeline is the Balkan Stream pipeline, which is a part of the Turk Stream pipeline. According to Euronews, Vučić said they found 2 large packages of explosives with detonators that were a few hundred meters from the gas pipeline. Hungary and its government have also discussed the issue. However, opponents of the current Prime Minister Viktor Orban have accused him and his party of overblowing the issue in advance of the parliamentary elections next week. Despite the severity of the issue, the potential motives for the attempted attack are still unclear, and there are no suspects at this time.
The Trinity Sports spring season is in full swing, and Newswave sports editor Jonathan Wang has your updates on how the Tigers are doing. Over to you, Jonathan.
Good afternoon, Tigers, and welcome back again to the sports section. The 8th-ranked Trinity women's tennis team swept past Oglethorpe University with a 7-0 Southern Athletic Association victory on Saturday morning. The Tigers dominated the Stormy Petrels in today's match, remaining unbeaten in conference play and extending their winning streak to 11 consecutive matches. Meanwhile, the 16th-ranked Trinity men's tennis team swept Oglethorpe University 7-0 in the Southern Athletic Association matchup on Saturday morning. The Tigers and the Stormy Petrels met for just the third time since the 2009-10 season, with Trinity winning all 3 of those meetings. The Trinity track and field team put up a slew of strong marks at the J.G. Gonzalez Memorial Invitational, taking full advantage of the opportunity to compete at their home stadium. The Tigers overcame an early lightning delay to mix up the school record boards and continue building momentum towards the SAA Outdoor Championships on April 24th. In Rome, Georgia, Trinity softball took the series final against Barry, a total series score of 8-3 in the Tigers' favor. The Tigers will travel to Georgetown to battle Southwestern next weekend on April 10th and 11th. Meanwhile, the Trinity baseball team swept a Southern Athletic Association doubleheader from Barry College on Saturday afternoon, winning a 12-inning opener 8-7 and then rallying late to steal a 9-8 win in Game 2. That's about it from me this week and the Trinity sports team. I hope you all have a great day, and go Tigers!
Last Thursday, New Zealand and the Cook Islands signed a Defense and Security Pact. The pact pledged that New Zealand will be the first country the Cook Islands would go to in cases under defense and security. This agreement comes after a year of tension. The Cook Islands have a 60-year free association relationship with New Zealand, meaning the country is protected under New Zealand's military and citizens can work and live in New Zealand. This association leads to the Cook Islands having to consult New Zealand on deals with other countries. However, in February 2025, the Cook Islands signed a deal with China, but did not disclose the details with New Zealand, citing security reasons. In retaliation, New Zealand froze millions of dollars in aid, but will now flow again due to the new deal. Commenting on the deal, China's Foreign Ministry spokesperson Mao Ning stated that the diplomatic relationship with the Cook Islands is, quote, not directed at any third party, nor should it be subject to interference or constraints by any third party, end quote. Amidst the concerns over the pact, Cook Islands Prime Minister Mark Brown stated that the signed pact with New Zealand does not affect the country's other pacts.
For the first time in more than 50 years, NASA is going back to the moon. As the Associated Press reports, last week on April 1st, a Space Launch System Super Heavy Lift rocket took off from Launch Complex 39B at NASA's Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida, taking 3 American astronauts and 1 Canadian astronaut on a 10-day journey to the moon and back. Commander Reed Wiseman, pilot Victor Glover, mission specialist Christina Koch, and Canadian mission specialist Jeremy Hansen will not make a landing on the moon. However, they will set a brand new record for the furthest humans have ever traveled from the Earth. At its furthest, Artemis 2 will be more than 250,000 miles from the moon, breaking the previous record set by Apollo 13 by more than 4,000 miles. While Artemis 2 will only fly past the moon, NASA plans to launch another mission with the intention of landing as early as 2028, and recently announced plans to establish a base on the moon to allow long-term human presence there. The Artemis 2 crew is scheduled to return to the Earth aboard the Orion spacecraft today, just after 7 p.m., splashing down in the Pacific Ocean just off the coast of California. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today.
Be sure to tune in next week at our usual showtime, 3 p.m. Until next time, I'm Kiara Taylor.
And I'm Baden Russell. Happy Friday!